Hi friends, welcome back to Calm in the Chaos Homeschool. Today I'm going to be making a video on some of my favorite curriculum resources, literature-based curriculum. I have actually used many of these myself, so I cannot wait to share these with you. So a literature-based curriculum does not really follow any homeschooling style. I would say several homeschooling styles could use a literature-based curriculum within them. However, there were so many of these curriculum that didn't fit in with any of the homeschooling styles, so I just needed to make a video just based on literature-based curriculum. If you're interested in seeing the other videos that I'm doing on different curriculum resources for the different homeschooling styles, I will just link the playlist here and let's get started. What is a literature-based homeschooling style? It's not really a homeschooling style. Like I said, it can be used in several different styles. It is more just a type of curriculum. Basically, when you do a literature-based homeschool, you are using good quality literature as the basis of either most of your education or a large part of your education. So you would be teaching history and science and social studies and geography using as much quality literature as possible. So there's a strong emphasis on using picture books, classical literature, living books, and informational texts for learning. The curriculums that I'm going to cover in this video are Sonlight, Bookshark, My Father's World, Heart of Dakota, Torchlight, and Beautiful Feet books. Sonlight is definitely a literature-based program. It is Christian. I have given it $3. It is on the upper range, maybe $800 per child. However, as I say at the bottom of these slides, it can be taught family style. Each level is suitable for a range of ages. So it gives you a range of 3 years. However, I have 4 children and they are in a range of 4 years, and it's working very well for my family. Sonlight is a mix of Charlotte Mason style and traditional, kind of a mix of those together. It has literature-based Bible, history, geography, science, and of course, literature. You can just purchase the HBL, which is the History, Bible, and Literature packet, or you can add a language arts packet, or you can add science and then math and other language arts components to make it a complete curriculum. So here we are at Sonlight, and I'm just going to go to shop, and I'm going to pretend that I want to purchase the all subjects package. Right here, the ages are 10 to 13, and actually often they suggest that you stick to the upper range. So you probably would want to go down a level or two, depending on the age ranges of your kids and if you can combine them. I have known people who can do multiple levels at the same time with their family. However, I feel personally that it would be quite a challenge to be able to complete this using multiple levels unless your older children were quite independent and could do things on their own. My students definitely could not do this curriculum on their own. My kids are ages 9 to 13 right now. None of them could do this independently on their own, and so one level altogether works well for us. So you want to, because of the maturity of the content, they say that you might want to stick into the upper ranges, so you could even do level C for a 5th grader or D for a 5th grader easily. Let's just take a look at D. So here is the package. And you have 2 options, a 4-day or 5-day curriculum. Now, I will say that a lot comes with these packages, and it can be quite a lot to do. So even if you do school 5 days a week, a 4-day package would probably be plenty. And if you're doing a 5-day package, unless you are super diligent and are able to complete all the work every day, be willing and ready to take more than 1 year to complete the levels or to skip the very end. A lot of people really struggle with finishing all of the curriculum within the year. A 5-day program package would just have some extra books and just a little bit extra stuff. But let's take a look at the price. So $800, $900, kind of in that range. But if you are including other children, you might need to adapt the readers And honestly, the readers are all in different levels as well. They're not like all one level. So you could probably pick the easier readers for your younger students who have a harder time reading, as long as they are able to read relatively fluently. You could adapt and have them just read some of the easier readers. What I do is my sons are reading some of the readers, but then I'm supplementing with some even easier readers in the history time period that we're at. So we're just kind of doing a combination. Let's take a look at what comes with the package. So here we go, what's included. So you will get the Sonlight Instructor's Guide. So we can take a look at that in a minute. We have language arts, so you could purchase the language arts, or you can do that separate and do something else. But the language arts is going to use your readers that you're reading, and it's going to do things like narration, dictation, spelling, and writing. There's the Science Instructor's Guide. It's going to tell you how to use all the science books and experiments. Here's the Bible that goes with the program. So we have 2 books here and a CD that's going to help with memorization. Here are the history books that will be scheduled out for you to read. So all these books here. Here's the math that you can add if you would like, Math UC. Here are all the read alouds that you will be reading to your child that year. And then here are all the readers that your child will be reading. So you can see there is a lot of books being read throughout the year. A binder if you'd like to buy the special binder. Here's science, so here are all the science books, science DVD, experiments, and a science kit to go with all your experiments, and spelling. So that comes with the all subject package, but you can also just purchase the history Bible literature. So that would be all the readers, it would be all the read alouds, it would be all the history books, and the Bible. And then you could add your own language arts, you could add your own math if that's what you prefer. So I'm now going to go look at what a week sample looks like. However, if you would like to see a whole video on what a B and C level would look like and how it's working for us, I'm going to link a video here that I made recently. Be sure that you have clicked on either 5-day or 4-day, or else you will not see the samples. So let's take a look at the 5-day sample of this is just the history, Bible, and literature section. So I'm going to quickly scroll through here. So here is a week overview of what you would be doing in the week for just the Bible, history, and literature. The science is also going to look very similar. The layout will be similar. You'll have a separate packet for that. And then you'll have a separate packet for the readers and the language arts. So the parent will be reading this. The student will be reading this. Then the parent will read this. And you will be memorizing this verse throughout the week. And this CD will be singing a song based on that verse to help you memorize it. And then this tells you what to read for your history or geography, Pedro's journal. And here is an extra additional thing if you would like to do it, the lap book kit. If your kids are into hands-on activities, that's how you can add that. The read aloud is Secret of the Andes, Chapter 1, and every so often you will have some poetry reading. Now, there are 2 levels of readers only for level D, which is the one we're looking at right now. There's the regular readers and there's the advanced readers. So if your child is kind of on the grade 4 level, these are the books that they'll be reading. These are the chapters they'll be reading. If they are more advanced level, these are the chapters they will be reading. Now, advanced just means some extra books. So they'll have some extra books and the reading level will be slightly higher. Because I'm using this for my kids from ages 9 to currently 13, I did buy the advanced readers and it works very well for my more advanced 11-year-old and my 13-year-old who struggles a little bit more. So I bought the advanced readers, perfect for those levels. And my 9-year-olds can read A Lion to Guard Us, but they will not be able to read all of the books, even in the regular level. So that is the basic layout of the week. And then on the next pages, you're going to have all the instructions for the teacher. Now, it starts out with a lot more instructions than normal since it is your first week. They're going to tell you how to do everything. And then here is where we begin with the more regular instructions. So they'll tell you what to do. So you're doing geography, looking at maps. You're memorizing these verses. Here are questions you can ask after you've done the read aloud. Here's your timeline and map points to add. You have a timeline book and little things to cut out and put on your timeline. The next day, what you're reading. Next day, what you're reading. And then what you would do if you did the optional lap book. Then the reading, read alouds and reader notes, they are in a separate section here. So if you want to be asking questions about your read alouds or your reader's notes, there's a separate section for that. And then you would be on week 2. So science is very similarly laid out, and language arts is very similarly laid out. So the next thing we have here is Bookshark. For those of you who don't know, Bookshark and Sonlight are sister companies. So Bookshark is the neutral or secular version of Sonlight. With Sonlight, they use books like Usborne books, they use DK books. They're not always Christian books. However, in Sonlight, you will have notes saying, hey, this is coming up. You might want to discuss this with your child, or maybe you want to skip this part if you don't agree with what it says in the book. So Sonlight will have those kind of notes for you, and it will have more discussion based around God and Christianity and things like that. Now, Bookshark is going to be very, very similar to Sonlight, except they will not have those additional notes and they won't have things mentioning God. So it is a neutral or secular curriculum. The price is about the same. The type of style is about the same. And we're going to look at Bookshark. So I'm going to show you how similar it is. So here we are at Bookshark. Let us look at the same level, all subject package. So D in Sonlight was early American history. D in Bookshark is early American history. Now I will tell you that most of the books are going to be exactly the same. There will be a few readers that might not be in Bookshark that are in Sonlight, and they will be substituted with something else. Maybe in Sonlight it mentioned God a little too much or is based on a Mennonite family or something like that. There will be a few read alouds that may be substituted, but I would say maybe two books perhaps in each of these sections that might be different. Of course, for Bookshark, they will not have the Bible section. So if you wanted to get not the all subject package and you just wanted to do history and literature, they have that package without the Bible. Or you can do the all subject package, which is pretty much adding all those same components. I am not sure how similar the science is. So that is something, they've been changing the science. So I do not know if the science is as similar as the rest. So you would have to look into that yourself. Now, Bookshark is a great alternative. If you are using a charter school or a public school, perhaps they will purchase this curriculum for you, which is what we are doing. I purchased Sonlight last year because we were not yet accepted into it's not really a charter school, but it's called the Parent Partnership Program. So I purchased Sonlight and I love it. And now that we are in, they are going to purchase my curriculum for me, and it's going to be from Bookshark, and I can always go to Sonlight and add anything additional that I want to add. Or not. It's really so similar. We have our own Bible that we can do. So I'm very happy with what I'm getting with Bookshark because it is very similar to Sonlight, which we have loved. So you can go here and see all the things that are included. Very similar. They just don't have pictures here. You could click on it to see the pictures. There's the read alouds. Maybe 2 will be different from Sonlight. Readers, maybe 2 will be different from Sonlight. Same, Matthew C. Handwriting, they use handwriting without tears. I don't know if that's in Sonlight. I didn't see handwriting. Spelling you see is the same. And then extra resources. And then the science, like I said, I'm not sure about the science. I'm sure it's still similar, but I'm not sure about exactly the levels if they line up exactly the same. So science is something that's different. You can go here and see all the samples. So pretty much Bookshark is very similar to Sonlight, minus the Bible, minus the Christian notes. Everything else pretty much the same. So My Father's World is a very Christian program, very centered on God. The price is a little bit less than the whole package for Bookshark or Sonlight. It also is literature-based. They have a few more hands-on activities built into the program. They have some traditional homeschooling aspects and also a mix of Charlotte Mason as well. Not sure why purchase is spelt wrong there. Sorry about that. So the center, the middle, the elementary and middle school ages can be taught family style with kids in a 8-year range. So I'm going to explain that when we get to My Father's World. So here we are at My Father's World. And so here is shop by theme. So they have the preschool to second graders. So these are suggested that you do per year with the child at that age level. I'm sure you could put two kids that are very close together, but it's recommended you would do each of these more separately with each kid. Once they get into third grade, they would be able to join in this cycle. So third through eighth grade can do these. Actually, they have extension packages for second and third graders, and then they have extension packages for seventh and eighth graders. So really the range is 4, 5, 6, kind of that range, but then you can add stuff for the younger kids and make it a little easier, or add some extension for your middle school student. So there are 5 different things here. Exploring Countries and Cultures is the first one they recommend. It is much more of a geography unit or year, and it's very focused on the world and reaching out to the world. We have actually been doing this over a 2-year span because my friend lent me her whole curriculum package. So we have been really enjoying doing this, and it does have more hands-on than Sonlight or Bookshark. I don't love a ton of hands-on personally. However, it is nice for my kids to get some hands-on stuff sometimes. So there's more hands-on, I would say, in this curriculum. After you finish that, they recommend you go through this 4-year cycle of history. So ancient, medieval, early modern, and modern times. And then once you finish that, you could go through the cycle again with whichever kids happen to be in the right age range, and just keep going in circles if you have a ton of kids. Then once they hit high school, they suggest that you move on to these. So they're more independent 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade curriculum. So I'm just going to take a look at one of the ones here in the middle ranges. So this is the one we've been doing, but let's take a look at Rome to Reformation and what you would get if you purchased this package. $400, and you would get the guides. You would get astronomy, so that's science, Bible, curriculum, and stories. This is the history here. More history, maybe history textbooks, history readers, human body, some more science, hands-on activities, and then all this music type of stuff. If you want to see closer looks at everything, they have those there. But then you would probably, if you're going to do the whole, you want everything, you would need to add some math. And I think they use Singapore Primary Mathematics. You would need to add the language arts. So their language arts program, just so you know, is a very gentle approach. It is very Charlotte Mason. It might not be enough for parents who are more interested in rigor or more academic. It's very gentle, very quick, easy lessons. So this actually would work pretty well for my family. It's not what I'm using, but I have looked at it. My kids would probably do well with this. They just can't do a whole lot every single day. So just to keep in mind that their language arts is a very gentle Charlotte Mason approach. And then this is if you need extra student worksheets, you would purchase that. You need to add on these, I guess. So these are more things to add to the package. And then you would want to add this for the 7th and 8th graders, the extensions and some optional things. And then here is everything that comes with the package. So even if you added on all the things, it would probably still only be in the $500-600 range per child. But then when you add more children, the price per child goes down dramatically because you're reading aloud to all your kids. You don't need separate sets for everything. So if you have a family with multiple kids, this is a very affordable program. So I am trying to find the guide for you. However, it is not letting me. So the best I can explain it is if we're comparing it to the Sonlight or Bookshark weekly overview, you will get a 2-page spread for the whole week, and it will have things like Bible, how to use this program with language arts, what to do for music and art, what to do for science, what to do for geography, what to read aloud, how to add your extensions for 2nd and 3rd grade, how to add your extensions for 7th and 8th grade. And it basically has that weekly grid that you would just go through kind of like a checklist and complete. And then it will have several pages after that explaining any activities that are included on that grid. If you would actually like to see more about a My Father's World unit, the countries and cultures one, I do have a video and I will just link it above, and you will definitely see the grid there. So Heart of Dakota is a newer curriculum for me. I have heard about it. I've heard many families really love it. I have not looked into it a whole lot before this video. I looked into it a little bit, but I did not realize that it could also be taught family style. And so I kind of shied away from it. So I have not used Heart of Dakota. However, I would say it is a very Christian, very biblically based curriculum. The price is more in that mid-range price. You can use it for a range of children, maybe in the 3-year range, and maybe even a little more. They do have extensions, so 3 to 5-year range. So that price can go down per child dramatically. It is a mix of literature-based, Charlotte Mason, hands-on activities, and traditional. And I'm just going to show you how you can go from a basic package, and it has steps to add on all the things you want to add on or not add on all the things that you don't want to add on. So it's very customizable. Here I am at Heart of Dakota, and here are their programs. And let me go down here. I feel like it tells us better. So we have preschool, elementary. I'm shooting for 5th grade, so I'm going to go here in the middle years. And I'm going to go to selection, and here they have the age ranges. So this is meant for 9 to 11-year-olds, and there's extensions for 12 to 13-year-olds. So I'm going to look at that one. All right, so here are the books at a glance if you purchased everything. And I'm going to go to shop now. So they basically take you through all these different add-ons. So if I clicked on this, they would take me through a series of questions on whether or not I wanted to add on these things. So the economy package comes with history, geography, art, Bible, poetry, and painting. Then you could add science, which would be life science this year. Then you could add grammar, writing, and dictation. So they use Rod and Staff, which is an older curriculum, a very classic curriculum. A lot of people really like it, but is definitely more of an older curriculum. Composition, so a writing book. Math, they use the primary mathematics, Singapore math. Bible option to add on. Music with scripture memory. Read alouds, and extensions for your older students. Consumables, so if you have multiple kids, and a literature series. So you could add on extra literature if you wanted to add more. So really, you can use a mix and match approach here. So I'm going to show you just quickly, I'm going to click on here, and basically you can go through the series of adding these things into your basket. But when you look at here, the economy package, basically every day you get a 2-page spread on what to do, and I am going to show you what that looks like. But if you got the economy package, you would be covering half of all the things on that page. Maybe you don't want to do this section or this section or this section or this section. It's up to you to choose. And as you go and click through and add to cart, you'll be filling out more of these sections. So once we take a look at the sample, I think you'll get a better understanding of what I am saying. First week. Okay, so here it's a 2-day spread. And so each day you would go through here and your child would go over these 2 pages. So what do they do in reading with history? And I means the child should be able to do this independently. Story time. Teacher does this. Teacher reads this to the child. History. Student. Bible quiet time. Independent. Independent. Okay, S means with some help. I means independent. Independent history study should be independent. Bible study, the teacher would be doing that. Poetry, independent. Language arts, some help needed. Math exploration, some help needed. And science exploration, independent. So every day your child would be looking here and checking off the different boxes depending on all the curriculum, if you got all the curriculum or if you got just portions of it. So I hope that gives you an idea of how Heart of Dakota works. All right, so now we have Torchlight. Now, Torchlight is definitely a secular program. The price that is here showing $1 sign is you are just purchasing the guide, and then you would have to purchase the books or find the books at a library. It is extremely literature-based. It has a very wide range of literature with a lot of diversity. So if you're looking for a very diverse curriculum, this is probably a good one for you to look at. They say they're super eclectic. They have hands-on activities, art projects, audiobooks, video links, and writing projects. They say they use the Socratic questioning method. So the Socratic questioning method is questioning the student to go deeper to try to understand why they think what they think, opposed to narration, which is just a telling back of what the child has absorbed or has learned. And they say it can be done family style. So let's take a look at Torchlight. So here I am at Torchlight, and I'm just going to go and look at the levels. And I just noticed this today. It looks like they only go to level 5. So that is something to be aware of. However, level 5, they say, is good for learners who are 10 to 14. So if your child is 10, you could still use this for several years. You would not have to start at level 5. So let's take a look down here. They do have a week sample. We can look at that in a minute. They have this level 5 bundle, which comes with some books that they themselves publish. So I probably want to get this bundle if I were doing Torchlight just to get everything. Or you could skip these books and just go with just the guide. And then they do tell you all the books that are needed. So here's the literature books. Here's the history and social studies books, science books and guide, art and music, ethics and equality, and writing and poetry. So it has everything there with that guide. So let's take a look at what a sample looks like. So here we go, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what you would be doing in literature and poetry, your language arts, art and music, geography, social studies, and history. Math, it looks like that's what you would need to add, your own math program, science, and then equity and ethics. And then they have what you need to prep, activity supplies. And then here is the checklist of the things that you would be doing throughout the week. So in each section, they have what you would be doing throughout the week. And then any extra pages that you need, any examples, it looks like they have that there. So that is the sample. So I was trying to figure out if I should include this or not. I love Beautiful Feet books, but it is not a complete curriculum. It is a Christian curriculum. However, really the guides have some things in it that are Christian, but the books that they use aren't necessarily Christian books. They just have a guide to tell you how to incorporate your view into the books. So I know some charter schools will purchase the books for you. They have actually special charter packages where the charter school can purchase the package for you, and then you could go and separately purchase the guide. So that is one option that is available. Beautiful Feet books covers mostly geography, history, and has some character building and science theme year kits as well. Also can be taught family style and has some hands-on activities. I know they have some recipes in the guide that I have. I do have one set of Beautiful Feet book, and we are using it with our history. So they have some Charlotte Mason things, some questions in their guides, and some hands-on activities. Here we are on the main page. Let's take a look at the 4th through 8th grade curriculum. These are all the options they have. Early American history, history of California, history of science, modern American and world history, ancient history, medieval history, and then early American history for 7 through 9. So I'm just going to look at this early American history for 4 to 6. So here is a picture of all the books that you would be going through. And here's the guide here in the middle. And let me see if we can get some samples here. So it's 129 lessons. So you would do 3 to 4 lessons per week for 1 year of study. So here's early American history, the sample. So the different times that you would be studying. They have rabbit trails, so they have different books that you might want to add and look at. So these are not books that are included. These are just additional books that you could look at from your library or if you wanted to purchase. Crafts and projects that you could do. Character connections, patience. So here are some Bible verses. Online resources. And then here's an example of lesson 36. Read this, ask these questions, have your child work in a notebook. They have pictures that you cut out, color, paste, and write some copy work sometimes. And so here's the examples of what the lessons look like. Then there's pictures that you can show your students, more lessons. That is what the guide looks like with Beautiful Feet books. I do really like the books that they use. We are really enjoying the set that we are using. So I wanted to include that even though it is not everything. If you like to mix and match like me, then that's okay. You could just do this for history or science or geography. They have a lot to look at. So I would recommend that if you're interested in a literature-based program, you might want to look at Beautiful Feet books. They have books for all levels, a bunch of different resources. Definitely a place to check out. So that brings us to the end of literature-based curriculum. Thank you for sticking around. If you have any questions or if you use any of these curriculum and you'd like to share your experiences, please do comment below. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this or more things like curriculum reviews, how we do homeschool in our family. I have 4 kids ages 9 to 13. And we do a lot of family style curriculum, but I also personalize my curriculum for each child as well. And I just wanted to say I have a Facebook group that is a very small one at this point, but I would love it if you would join me in the Facebook group and we can have more conversations in there. We can have some people who have more experience than I do in homeschooling answering some questions. Take a look in the description below to find the Facebook group link. So thanks for coming today, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye, everyone.